The rain hammered against the windshield as Marcus pulled his battered pickup truck to the side of the deserted highway. Through the sheets of water, he could barely make out the shape of an overturned Mercedes, its wheels still spinning uselessly in the air. Most people would have driven past. It was past midnight, the storm was getting worse, and this stretch of Route 9 had a reputation for trouble. But Marcus wasn't most people. His daughter's voice echoed in his head from earlier that evening. "Daddy, you always say we help people when they need us, right?" He'd kissed her forehead then, tucking her into bed at his mother's house before heading out for his night shift at the warehouse. Now, as lightning split the sky, he knew he couldn't just drive away. Marcus grabbed his flashlight and pushed open the truck door, immediately drenched by the relentless downpour. As he approached the wreckage, his boots sinking into the muddy shoulder, he heard it, a voice, barely audible over the storm, but unmistakably desperate. "Please, is someone there? Please, don't hurt me, I can't walk." The voice was trembling, soaked in fear and pain. Marcus quickened his pace, his flashlight beam cutting through the darkness until it found her, a woman, probably in her 40s, trapped in the driver's seat. Her expensive suit was torn, blood trickling from a gash on her forehead. The door was crumpled inward, pinning her legs. What struck Marcus most wasn't the severity of her injuries, but the raw terror in her eyes. "Ma'am, I'm here to help," Marcus said, his voice steady despite the chaos around them. "My name is Marcus. I'm not going to hurt you." The woman's eyes darted across his face, as if searching for proof of his intentions. Her breathing was rapid, panicked. You promise. Please, I can't, my legs." Marcus knelt in the mud beside the wreckage, holding her gaze. "I promise. I've got a little girl at home who needs her daddy to come back a good man. That means I help people, no matter what. Can you tell me your name?" "Victoria," she whispered, her voice breaking. "Victoria Chen. My phone, it flew somewhere. I can't reach anyone. I've been here for, I don't know how long." "Okay, Victoria. I'm going to call 911, and then I'm going to stay right here with you until they come. You're not alone anymore." As Marcus dialed emergency services, he noticed Victoria's hands were shaking violently. It wasn't just from the cold or the pain, this was something deeper. Years of working construction before his wife died had taught him to read people, and Victoria wasn't just afraid of the accident. She was terrified of him, of being vulnerable, of this entire situation in a way that seemed disproportionate. The 911 operator informed him that emergency services were dealing with multiple accidents from the storm. It would be at least 45 minutes before anyone could reach them. Marcus relayed this to Victoria, who let out a sob. I can't be stuck here. You don't understand." "Then help me understand," Marcus said gently, removing his jacket and carefully draping it over her to shield her from the rain. The gesture seemed to surprise her. Victoria's eyes welled with tears. 3 years ago, I was carjacked on a night like this. 2 men, they pulled me out of my car, beat me, took everything. I couldn't walk for months afterward. The doctors said I might never fully recover. I fought so hard to, and now this, and I'm trapped again, and I can't walk, and..." Her words dissolved into sobs. Marcus felt his heart constrict. Here was a woman who had clawed her way back from trauma, only to find herself in a nightmare that probably felt like cruel repetition. He understood something about that, the way grief and fear could ambush you when you thought you'd finally found solid ground. "Victoria, listen to me," Marcus said, positioning himself so he could maintain eye contact while using his flashlight to assess the damage. "That night 3 years ago, those men made a choice to hurt you. That was about who they were, not who you are. Tonight, I'm making a different choice. I'm choosing to stay, to help, to make sure you're safe. And I'm going to keep making that choice until those ambulances get here." He could see her processing his words, the fear in her eyes battling with a desperate need to trust. Marcus began talking to keep her conscious and calm, telling her about his daughter Emma, about how his wife Sarah had passed away from cancer 2 years ago, about how he was working 2 jobs to keep their small house and give Emma the life she deserved. "You're the CEO of something, aren't you?" Marcus asked, noting her designer watch and the embossed leather briefcase that had been thrown from the car. "That's a Chen Enterprises logo." Victoria managed a weak smile. "You're observant." "Yes. I built that company from nothing after I recovered. Therapy, physical rehabilitation, business school at night while working as a secretary during the day. Everyone told me I should just take the settlement money and disappear. But I refused to let what happened to me be the end of my story. That's not just brave, Marcus said, working to clear debris from around the car. That's extraordinary. As they talked, Marcus noticed Victoria's breathing becoming more labored. He realized her legs weren't just pinned, she might be bleeding internally. He made another call to 911, his voice more urgent this time. Then he made a decision. Victoria, I'm going to try to get this door open enough to relieve some pressure. It might hurt, but I think we need to do this now. I trust you, she said, and Marcus could hear that she meant it. Using a crowbar from his truck and every ounce of strength he possessed, Marcus worked at the crumpled metal. His hands bled, his muscles screamed, but finally, the door shifted. Victoria cried out, but then gasped in relief as the pressure on her legs eased. You did it, she breathed. I can feel my feet again. Oh God, I can feel them. When the ambulances finally arrived, the paramedics were amazed that Marcus had managed to free her without causing further injury. As they loaded Victoria onto a stretcher, she grabbed Marcus's hand. Why? She asked. You don't know me. You put yourself at risk in this storm. Why? Marcus thought of Emma, of Sarah, of all the people who had helped him when he was drowning in grief. Because someone's got to choose kindness, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. 3 months later, Marcus was working on a construction site when a black town car pulled up. Victoria emerged, walking with only the slightest limp, carrying a folder. She'd tracked him down through the police report. I never properly thanked you, she said. You didn't just save my life that night. You reminded me why I fought so hard to rebuild it, because there are still good people in this world. She handed him the folder. Inside was a full scholarship to a program for non-traditional students at the state university, with a job offer at Chen Enterprises that would work around his class schedule. You told me you never finished your engineering degree after your wife got sick. This is your chance. Marcus's eyes filled with tears. I can't accept this. You already did, Victoria smiled. By being who you were on a dark highway in the middle of a storm. By choosing to help when you could have driven past. This isn't charity, Marcus. This is what happens when kindness creates ripples. Let me be one of yours. That night, Marcus held Emma close and told her about the woman on the highway and the second chance at a dream he thought he'd buried with Sarah. See, baby girl, he whispered. Good things happen when we choose to be good people. Not always right away, but eventually, the light finds a way through. In a world that often felt dark and uncertain, one single dad had proven that humanity's greatest power isn't strength or wealth or status. It's the simple, profound choice to see another person's pain and decide to help carry it, even when no one would know, even when it costs you something, even when it's raining and dark and you're tired to your bones. Because that's when it matters most.